Today's episode comes to you thanks to our sponsor, Kangen Water. Electrolyte-reduced water is the power of true hydration, manifested in the most advanced Japanese technology that has been in the market for more than 50 years. To drink the best water, shower with a hot spring quality water, and start a new business with the most amazing and profitable compensation plan in the world, visit thelivingwatercouple.com to learn more or get started today.
Welcome to a brand new experience with innovative voices from all over the world. I would like to invite you all to something that is magical, something that is powerful, and something that is from my heart. This is the Devon Taylor Podcast. Hello all, and welcome to another episode of the Devon Taylor Podcast. And today's guest, I am so excited to introduce. It is someone I love dearly. When you think of the word passionate, this man's face should sit as the example of what a passionate lover should look like.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry from the beginning?
He's igniting fires wherever he goes, but bringing so much peace and tranquility. This guest has literally transformed his world overnight and won my heart in a way no other person has. He's a beautiful singer, a talented artist, and my co-entrepreneur in life, I would like to say. He is creating his own podcast, so be on the lookout for that, as well as some music. But without further ado, I would like to introduce my partner, Jean Carlo.
Okay, I feel like I'm about to cry. Can you see it in my eyes?
You look like you're about to cry. What hit you so hard when I was saying that? Like, why? What made you so emotional?
You just made me feel seen. What you said. Look at my eyes. I'm not joking.
If you are watching the video version, you can see it in his face. But, well, I appreciate you, and I do love you. And I feel like when I'm introducing anyone that's coming on this podcast, I just want them to feel like they matter, because they do. We all do. So, yes, you matter to me. You matter to the kids. You matter to us. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for being one of my first guests on my podcast. I do so very much appreciate you for doing this. Yeah, I really want
Thank you,
everyone,
babe.
of course, I really want everyone to get to know you. So, do you want to do like an introduction? I mean, I did that introduction. I don't know if that was good enough. Is there
I
anything
need
you
a
want to
moment
let?
to recover from that introduction now.
There's anything that you want the people to know that I might have missed or left out?
I'll mention it when I'm ready. I just want to thank you all for joining us. This is so freaking exciting to me. I'm so fucking proud of you. And
Thank
now I'm
you.
gonna cry.
Thank you.
For me, this feels like my dream, because to me, his dreams are my dreams, and we don't agree in everything at all,
Nope.
and that's completely fine. And we're learning how to do that dance in which we're learning to embody having ourselves and having each other too.
Mm-hmm.
Because okay, I'm being guided to speak about this. And for the ones of you that don't know me, I am a very intuitive. I'm gonna say that I'm a very intuitive person. I have been very connected with my intuition since I was a little kid. I can see energies. I can see dead people. I can speak with animals. I speak to water. And this is part of what I do in my coaching and in my business. Um, let's say I'm an intuitive coach, just to put a label, because what I do is so multifaceted that you cannot really put it in a little box. Because, for example, when I am doing my sessions, I surrender to the guidance of my higher self, of God, of Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call the divinity part of you. So even right now, it's like it's like somebody speaking into my ears, or how do I even explain this? Let me get closer to the mic. It's like I'm hearing it and I just repeat what I hear.
Mhm. Is there like a feeling? Is there where you could describe that in a feeling, a sensation that you may have that comes over you when, say, for instance, you're feeling into the animals and what they're thinking or however they're feeling?
Yes. The way that I was just describing it right now is called clairaudience.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear, it's like your sixth sense. And in a clairaudience way, you're hearing it.
Mm.
In a clairvoyant way, you're seeing it.
I was going to say, because you see things
Yep.
too, and that has a lot to do with how we met, because you saw me
Oh,
amongst
yeah.
so many other people.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to share with everyone.
Um, before that, before I shared that piece, um, I was living in Los Angeles, and I'd love to at one point talk about when I was homeless on the beach too, and
Tell
like
it all. I want to hear, they want to hear, we
so
all want to
powerful.
hear your story. How did you get from where we are now, living in Lake Elsinore with 4 kids, 6 dogs, and 1 cat?
In our second home,
And how'd you get from that? From where, or not even from that. How did you get to that to where you were before? Like, where does John Carlo begin?
to actually describe the fullness of it, I would need to write a few books.
Mm-hmm.
For the sake of this podcast, I was living in Florida more than 7 years ago, and that's so synchronistic. Both of our life paths number are number 7. If you don't know what that means, you can Google it, life path number, to check yours as well. And you can type your birthday and your information, and it will tell you more about who you are and your blueprint on this earth. So one day, I was feeling very depressed in Florida. Um, my soul was obviously telling me and kind of like screaming at me that it was time for a change. One day, I heard, "You're moving to California." And I was like, fuck no. What the fuck am I going to do in California? I don't know. And yes, I curse a lot. I don't know anybody there. And I started coming up saying all the stories. I don't have money. And if you can relate to this, when your soul, when your heart is guiding you to do something, and then there's another part of you that is in resistance to that, that starts speaking all the stories of how you're not going to be able to do that. I'm not good enough. I don't have the money. Those are called beliefs, by the way. And some of those beliefs are more of limiting beliefs.
Mm.
So I was like, I don't have a car. I don't know anybody there. I don't have any money, blah, 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 blah. And my intuition was like, okay, you're moving to California. And I was like, I started fighting. It was like me fighting with God.
Mm.
And I resisted that calling for 7 months. And the baby was almost 9 months. To the point that I was like, okay, God, I'm going to do it.
Mm.
I don't know how the fuck I'm going to get to California, and I'm going to fucking do it.
What made you what was that breaking point for you? What made you realize that you needed to go?
It just got so loud that I knew that I knew that I knew that I knew that that was my right next step.
Mm.
And maybe some of you are listening to this right now, and you know that you know that you know that whatever it is that you're being guided to, and that voice, that still small voice that sometimes is not that still and small, is guiding you to do. And I just want to encourage you, if this is you, to trust that, because that is going to get you in alignment with your right next step, where you're supposed to be and to go and to do and to have in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked a friend, honestly, to take me to a gas station. That determined I was to follow that intuition. And I was gonna ask truckers in a gas station to see who was gonna give me a ride to California.
Wow.
And I fucking did. And I was asking everybody
Wow.
all night long. And I was like, okay, I haven't asked that one. And then I started asking one by one by one by one. And everybody said no. So it was already the next day, and I was freaking exhausted, tired, hungry. I had not taken a shower, and I was like, God, you told me that I was moving to California, so now you help me get there. I speak like that to God. I don't know about you guys or you, Devon. Um,
I have a much, uh, I guess, a nicer relationship with God, where I'm a little easier, and I feel like He's easier on me when it comes to the lessons that
are
we
you sure
learn.
about
I think,
that?
yeah. No, sorry. Go
By the way, this episode comes to you
ahead.
thanks to Kangen Water.
He's a living promo, by the way, you guys.
Change your water, change your life.
I love it. So you were struggling with it. You finally got to terms with coming to California. You asked whoever you could think of at a gas station for a ride.
Everybody.
Finally, someone says yes. I'm imagining.
No, nobody said yes.
How did you get to California?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
I was sharing, like I do now, my experiences, and the ones of you that used to follow me in my old Facebook, even when was it? Yeah, before that, I had a iPhone 5 or something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
I got rained on.
Oh wow.
My freaking Facebook account, I was not able to access it, so I had to create another one after that. And there was even a hurricane in Florida right around that time, and I needed to leave from where I was staying. And for a little bit, I stayed in a shelter in, I believe it was in Plantation, in a
Mm.
city in Florida called Plantation. And I started evangelizing all the homeless people there and telling them about spirituality. And I had a little group that I would meditate already with there, like some disciples. And I was teaching people that freaking, I didn't even remember that. I was teaching people in that freaking homeless shelter to just to how to manifest, how to create their. And then I had a few people, and we would go to the library and study spirituality and all that jazz. And in one of those days, that we have I tell you this?
I don't know.
I always have a piece that comes every time we're having a conversation. Anyways, um, after I was at the gas station asking everybody, I share on Facebook what was happening. Then I received this message from a lady from Colorado called Shoshana. Shoshana was like, "Oh, I don't want you to continue struggling anymore, so I just bought your bus ticket all the way from there to California. You just need to be at this bus station at 3 p.m. and you'll get there." And I was crying, bawling, crying, so grateful. And then she continues, because when I met you in 2013 at that retreat in Puerto Rico with your husband, you touched my life so much and inspired me, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? And I said, Shoshana, thank you deeply for that bus ticket. And I have never in my life been to Puerto Rico and I'm not
Oh
married.
wow.
What I believe
Wow.
is that another version of me, because time is not linear, and that could be a whole nother podcast. Time is not linear. Time is not really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like the Gregorian calendar that we have been programmed to follow and to believe. in the realm and in the dimension of spirit, of God, of intuition, past, present, and future, all right now.
Mm.
So, what I believe, honestly, authentically, deeply, with all my heart, is that another version of me really was in Puerto Rico and I was really
Wow.
married.
Wow.
Not this version of me. The version of me that needed to meet her for what needed to be accomplished on that timeline. And so also she could meet and we could meet on this timeline so she could buy my bus ticket.
Mm.
Because not too long after that, she ended up blocking me on Facebook and she got super triggered. And I don't remember exactly why. And then we have never seen each other since. So
Wow.
sometimes when our intuitions, when God, when Spirit, when the universe, source is telling us, go here or call that person or do this or do that, we need to, it would be helpful if we could open up to that because we don't know the miracle that is going to happen. Thank you. We don't know the miracle that is going to happen because of having that conversation. And I was coming to Long Beach, and somebody over here is from Lakewood that is very close
Whoop,
to,
whoop.
and I had no idea about Devon back then, or that I was gonna meet him or be his partner or anything like
Although
that.
we didn't meet in Long Beach,
No,
I was long gone. I was long gone out of Long Beach. I was still coaching there, but living wise, I was no longer living there. So fast forward, yeah, let's fast forward. Since you're guiding or following yourself on faith through this whole journey, you literally have someone hit you up that you do not know that helps fund the trip to California. You get here, you have some experiences. Um,
I came to Long Beach, and I came to a Teal Swan workshop at the Queen Mary.
wow.
And Blake, that used to be one of her right hand people, told me, "Oh my God, Giancarlo, even Teal was following your journey, and she asked me to ask you if you were okay." I
Mm.
started freaking bawling.
International superstar.
I just
Just
felt
by
so
telling
seen, and
your journey and your
yep.
story.
And I had a huge carton that I made like a vision board
Mm.
that I was carrying with me on the bus. That's what I needed to have strength to feed my beliefs, and I looked like a crazy, and at the same time I didn't fucking care because I just fucking believed so deeply about what I was being called to do. When I was in one of the buses on my way here, me and this girl that was from San Diego that I met in one of the buses, we were talking, and suddenly this dude comes out of nowhere. He goes like this on my shoulder, and when I looked, he's handing me $100. I had not eaten in days, and I had no freaking idea that the girl next to me hasn't eaten in days. In that moment, after I was crying, I heard my intuition or that voice again say, "Give her the money." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I just got it." I gave her the money. She started bawling.
Wow.
And then she told me that she had not eaten a thing in 3 days.
Wow.
2 seconds later, the same guy comes back and he hands me 100 more. Now the two of us were crying.
Wow. Wow.
And when we follow that direction, that guidance of God, of Source, we are going to experience the craziest miracles. Because even before that, in 2016 or something like that, when I was traveling with some friends that I met at a Zen Awakening festival in close to Orlando, we went to a restaurant and we didn't have that much money.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we went to pay, the waitress said, "Oh, the people that were on that table, they're not there anymore. I don't know where they went. They cannot disappear." She said, "They already paid for you guys." And we never saw who it was. And they were on the table. And when the lady was going to point at them, nobody was on the table.
Wow.
So we don't know what happened.
Wow.
And whoever that was, if it was a person or an angel, or for the ones of you that have had experiences with an angel or a guide or whatever you want to call it, it is real. It is true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. What other experiences do you feel like you've had that have made you feel that way after those experiences you've had coming here?
If I tell you some of the things, some people will not even believe it.
Mm.
You know, after the teal workshop at the Queen Mary, I ended up being homeless. I say homeless so people can recognize where I was in that season of my life. I don't really believe that nobody is homeless because Mother Earth is our mother. That's why part of me also doesn't believe in illegals. I like to call it undocumented because nobody is illegal on our mother, on planet Earth. Anyways, um, I ended up staying on the beach. Mama Ocean, Mama Water, as I call her, and she was the one that guided me and guided us to this water that we will tell you. Um, I became a performer at the Santa Monica Pier. I'm a singer, like Devon said, and I would sleep underneath the Santa Monica Pier, and then I would go on top of it to perform and to
Mm.
sing. And after a while that I was performing and singing, and it would just make me so happy, and see all the little kids dancing to my music. I have some of the videos on my Facebook. Um, I started having this big crazy dream that I wanted to perform at the forum. So from that moment on, every time that I would perform on the pier, in my heart and in my mind and in my imagination and in my body and in my whole being, I was performing at the forum. And some of you may not know what the forum is. The forum is one of the biggest arenas here in Los Angeles. In what is it called? The city?
Uh,
Colton, Hampton.
I'm not sure exactly
I
where the
think
forum
Nicole
is.
used to live there.
Compton?
Yes,
Okay.
the forum is in that city that Javan just mentioned, and more than 15,000 people can be on that stage. When I was in Florida, I used to have a favorite rock star from Mexico called Gloria Trevi. Some of you may know her. I started having dreams with her. Then I forgot about that. And when I was having that dream that I wanted to perform at the forum, then I started talking to Mama Water, to the ocean, Mama Ocean. I said, okay, Mama Ocean, I'm having this dream. What is the next step? She spoke to me. She told me, go online, find an organization that you resonate with and that you can share your voice and your talents and your gifts and go for it. So I started looking online, theater, all kinds of stuff. And then I saw the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles, GMCLA, and it hit my freaking solar plexus, my body, and I knew that was it. I reached out to them. I auditioned. I didn't think they were gonna call me. They did. And then in one of the Monday rehearsals, John Duran, that used to be the mayor of West Hollywood, said, "Oh, by the way, guys, you guys are gonna be performing at the Forum, and you guys are gonna open for Gloria Trevi."
Wow.
My whole world went woo. For real, all the freaking timeline just.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. And so in that moment, you have that's happening, that realization. What are you feeling?
The version of me that already did that just came on my body. Just bear with me. I know that this probably sounds freaking crazy to some of you, and just open your mind. Um, the version of me that already did that, just like it was embodied in that
Mm.
moment. And I knew because there were more than 200 guys. It's not like they say, Giancarlo, you are going to. No, I had to audition for that. And I had to
Wow.
show that I was capable of of holding that freaking frequency.
Well, kudos to you. Yeah, celebrate
Hmm.
that. That's
Thank you.
amazing. Yeah.
So I auditioned, but from the moment John Duran said that, I knew that I knew that I knew there was going to be one of those opening for Gloria Trevi at the Forum.
Wow.
Not only was I one of those, I was the first one, and you can check the video. The one is going to share the link, and please share the link.
I'm going to share, yep, your link and any social media tags you want me to so people can follow you. And of course, at the end of, before we end the episode, we'll ask you for all of that. But go ahead, continue.
So I ended up opening the freaking song at the Forum in front of more than 15,000 people. I was still homeless. So there I was, Giancarlo JC, with a bunch of backpacks at the rehearsal, and I didn't freaking care. I was just so relentless following my dream.
Yeah, well, you would think most people would be super afraid to show up anywhere, with the perception that they could be perceived as homeless.
And I had that
So,
part of me too.
and you still did it. So that's very strong of you. What do you feel like helped you be able to, I guess, not muscle through in those moments, but find the
No, I
strength,
don't muscle through like that
find the
anymore.
strength?
Honestly, just being present with the parts of me that felt ashamed, with the parts of me that felt not good enough, the parts of me that were like, oh my God, you're homeless, and look, you're bringing all these freaking bags, and blah, 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 blah. And at the same time, I just felt like so connected to my higher self that it was not like I was bulldozing or bypassing those parts. It was like I was just living my purpose. So like
Hmm.
everything was like contained inside of that.
Well, I could resonate so much because a part of me feels so in my purpose when we're doing this, when we're sitting here and we're having these
Me too.
conversations. So I appreciate you doing this with me
Hmm.
and everyone listening. But yeah, no, that resonates
This
a
has been
lot
a
with
dream
me.
of mine. I have been praying for this moment for almost 3 years.
This moment,
When I
what?
met Devon, I was like, we're going to be speakers. We're going to be on stage. You're going to be a writer. You're going to be a speaker. And he was like, I'm not going to be a speaker. And I was like, you're going to be a speaker.
And I'm glad you saw that for me because it wasn't something that, yeah, definitely I didn't believe in. I didn't see it for myself because it wasn't something that I was actively working towards. But having the kids, and that's what I kind of want to lead into, because us getting into a relationship and having kids was also something that you put some, I guess, time and effort in to yourself before we actually started talking and before you actually even were looking for anything like that, right? Am I?
Since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be a father and to have kids and
Yeah.
to have a beautiful relationship and be very romantic and raise our children and just like the whole thing.
But you were saying before we met, you were doing like inner work.
Oh hell yeah, I'm still
So,
and that's a never-ending
absolutely.
process. And now we are, which means the universe to me. So honestly, before I met you and even before I committed to that new level of relationship with my heart, I was very broken. I was in so much pain. I was isolating myself. I had a really horrible porn addiction. I was being very promiscuous with guys that I would meet online just to try to feel the void and the pain, and it was not working. So I felt my heart was like, when are you gonna stop? When are you gonna stop doing this and just really connect with me and really develop a relationship with me and really heal me?
Hmm.
So I closed all those freaking apps. I stopped watching porn. I stopped having sex. And I stopped living the timeline that I was. And I just dedicated myself to healing my heart for like 6 months. And I said, I want to marry you. I told my heart, I want to marry you. I want to have, and I had an alchemical wedding. And I said, I want to know what is divine union with you and with myself and with a possible partner. I had no freaking idea I was gonna meet Devon. And then after 6 months of doing that, and even a practitioner that I love and adore now, Mandy J, she reached out to me because I was in hell. I was very suicidal, and she offered me some free sessions, which helped me tremendously. Thank you so much, by the way, if you're watching this. Um, and then after those 6 months of healing my heart, I felt, okay, now go find that man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? So I wrote down, actually, I made a list of what I wanted. I said, I want a Capricorn, I want a brown man, and I said, I want him to love kids. I want him to have a dog. I said, I want him to have thick eyebrows. Look at his eyebrows. Thick everything.
Oh boy, where are we
A
going?
big heart. And I was as ambitious as I am because I'm so hungry to create a global movement and just to create new earth and to create generational wealth, not only in our family, also to help all of you watching this create generational wealth. So 2 days later, on a Wednesday, May 5th, 2021, I could probably even remember the time. With some things, and Devan knows this, I'm forgetful as that. It drives Devan crazy sometimes. And with some things, I have like a photographic memory, like this, for example. And I watch Baba Jolie, that is one of the tarot card readers that I watch on YouTube. And she said, you're going to meet a Capricorn. I said everything that I was asking. I actually had a date planned with somebody else, even though I knew that I was not the guy. I was just being open. I was being open to the frequency of connection and the frequency of love. Then I went on that app, and on that page that I saw everybody, there was Devon. And when I looked at him, his aura was just shining, and it would like cover the whole screen. And when I saw him, I said, oh my gosh, there he is. And then I reached out to him. I started being very flirty and recording voice messages and putting my voice super deep just to. And we met, and we have been together ever since. And it's
Yep.
been almost 3 years.
Yep.
What was going on in your head and in your perception?
I was going through something very similar where I had taken a break from dating, from really just like putting myself out there. And then I did start putting myself back out there once I kind of put the pieces back together within myself and started to take time more to myself and do things more for myself, just like loving on myself more because I have a tendency to give, and in that instance, before we met, I was way more confident with who I was becoming and in the direction I was going. So there was so much I was looking forward to, like sharing that kind of lifestyle with somebody. So when I met you initially, I wasn't sure if a relationship was where we were going to go, but
I
Um,
was.
I know you were.
I just knew it in my intuition.
I didn't know, but I knew that it would be different. I knew that it would be a relationship that would be so much more significant in my life, especially, with everything, with the kids coming in and you being there and
You said, I want somebody very loving.
very
Mm.
loving. Well, because with kids, you want that person to be loving with you and the kids. And around the time we had been together maybe 3 months before we found
Not
out.
maybe 3 months.
3 months when we found out we were getting the kids. So just like we were still
Our
getting,
higher selves were like,
yeah, we were
let's
still
go.
getting used to each other, but the things we were doing, like we had walked my niece's baby
Oh, yes, I
around
love
the
that.
block um, with our dog just to go for a walk. And she was a baby, so, she was in the stroller, and we were making the joke that what if this was our reality?
When
What
you
if
ask, when you start asking those what if questions, get ready.
what if we have kids? And lo and behold, right after we started putting that idea out there, and we were also talking about my dog getting pregnant. We started putting those ideas out there. Boom, my dog got pregnant. Boom, the kids were coming to us, and we were going to be their
Devon
parents.
actually said, universe, if we are on the right path, that love be
L-
pregnant.
May you impregnate my dog so that we know we're on the right path.
May her pregnancy be the sign that we are on the right path. And I said, Devon, she is pregnant. You'll see.
Well, she was, and she gave birth, and she had a beautiful. That's why we have our beautiful dog Daisy and Cheekies. Cheekies came from the second batch, but yeah, just insane.
6 dogs, one cat.
One cat later. Okay, so fast forward because I do want to get to some things with this podcast related to us being in a relationship, and I feel like we've been through some tests, and obviously we don't see eye to eye.
Which relationship doesn't go through some tests?
Right.
Let me show them to me.
But we don't see eye to eye every single time we have an argument, a disagreement, whatever the case may be. But I think for the most part, we've been able to weather the storm and find some, I guess, level ground in some areas. And even right now, to be quite honest, we're working with a therapist, which I think can highly suggest for any couple that is trying to work through
It's not
things
because there's something wrong with you. It's to keep things flowing, to keep
flowing.
things good.
So we're working with a therapist to kind of work through the things that are, not so great in our relationship, but also the things that are not so great within ourselves. And I feel like it's been helping
Oh, yeah.
a vast amount of the time.
I thank you for saying that because that's something that I actually want to celebrate publicly since we have been having our Parts Works sessions with Rowan. Hey, Rowan. Our
Hola, Rowan.
It has gotten better, smoother, like,
Well, we're doing shit like this where we're sitting here on a
right?
podcast talking and telling our story. Well, telling your story because this is your episode, but telling your story and just creating a platform for people to do that. And so I'm just grateful that you're
Me
able
too.
to sit here with me.
Hmm.
But
So grateful.
so I wanted to do something with you to celebrate our relationship.
Ta da
It's
da ta.
something that I feel like everybody should do if you guys get an opportunity to. I found a nice little list from Country Living where they did 150 questions you can ask your girlfriend to deepen your connection. And I thought this was published in 2023. I sent the list to JC so he can pick through some questions to ask me,
I'm not gonna look
and
at it so you can.
and I have some questions that I picked through the list that I'm going to ask him so that we can get to know JC a little bit more, but I can also get to know
Is
my
it okay if I
partner.
add some wood
Oh,
stuff?
absolutely. Yeah. So I can get to know my partner some more. So hopefully you guys can enjoy this and you guys can, um, if you're interested, do this with your partner. I think it is a great list. It has some great questions on there. There's 150. I'm only going to do 7 with JC. And I don't know, maybe I can just ask you the questions and then I can answer them myself, or you can go through the list and pick some questions yourself. It's up to you, however you want to do it. That's completely fine. But if you're ready to start, I'm ready to start when you are.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we have a new character. Good
Welcome
thing.
to Josefina. Josefina is one of my parts.
Yay, Josefina. Well, this was supposed to be a couples thing, Josefina, so you got to kick rocks. So I can do this with my partner. Thank you.
Welcome to the silliness of JC.com.
Silliness of Daisy Duck. Okay, so we've got the fire alive again. If, in case you guys haven't noticed, there is the fire in the background. We do have it going because we wanted to change the
Good,
scenery.
how?
You can see it from JC's perspective. We wanted to change the scenery and just bring some love and light in this air. So I'm gonna I'm gonna start by asking you some questions. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first question:
Love and light, motherfuckers.
what are your thoughts on life after death?
Ooh. Can we get a drum roll for that one? We need to add that on the editing.
Right. Yeah, I'd have to do all that later. I don't have that now.
So, I believe that death only exists on this level of the physical body. I believe that our energy, our soul, our consciousness is energy. Our soul never dies. I believe on that level, on that higher soul level, we don't die. So to make it short, that's what I believe.
Well, you don't have to make it short. Make it however you want.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
However you feel confident answering that question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I feel I'm going to answer the questions with you just so that it
Okay.
make it easier instead of
Cool.
you having to find questions. I feel very similar. I feel like death only happens within the body, but I do feel like we have a spirit, a higher being that lives on and either incarnates back on this earth to teach us more lessons that we haven't learned, or we move on to a higher being because we have deeper understandings. That's how I would.
In 1747, I was a Japanese warrior. I don't remember the name right now because I didn't write it down. I was meditating and I was shown. I saw how I was the Japanese warrior in my meditation and I got the name and everything. When I Googled it, there it was with the exact
Wow.
same name. I wish I would have written that down, Devon, because that was powerful.
Wow.
In
That
another
is
life,
interesting.
very. In another life, and this I found out recently working with Julia Phoenix, which is gonna be one of the band guests,
Yay.
by the
Can't
way.
wait. Can't wait. Can't wait.
We found out because I was also at the same time that she was picking up the information, I was too. I was seeing the name and I was like, she was telling me, oh, by the way, I am seeing right now that you were a Lemurian priestess in Lemuria and used to work with water and with music and frequencies.
Wow.
And I said, what's the name that you're seeing? Because I was seeing it. And she said, it starts with L. And I was like, yes! I was already seeing the name Lydia before you start saying that.
Wow.
And she said, before I told her, it starts with L.
Wow.
How you doing?
Okay, Lydia.
And there was a lady in my house that used to like be so loving and so kind to me when I was a kid. And her name is Lydia.
Wow. Connections are coincidence. Hey.
Yeah.
Connecting all the
Synchronicities.
dots. Synchronicity. All right. Second question. When were you happiest?
When was I happiest?
Mm-hmm.
I feel right now in this moment when I'm doing the things that make my inner child really happy. Or like before we start the podcast, the little girl from this house right here
Next
came
door.
next door, knocked on our door, and she was like, "Are the kids there?" And I was like, "No, they come back on Sunday." And then she started telling me, "Oh, by the way, we went to the neighbors and we told them what you told us about the goat because the neighbors like a house a
Two
house or
houses
two
down, they have
houses.
goats.
Uh-huh. They have goats, they have horses, they have chicken. Devon, a dog killed a turkey.
Mm.
That's why we haven't heard it anymore. Yeah, that was really sad. And one of their goats, when Devon and I came back from our adventures today at Jack Barbecues eating, you
Hmm.
guys need to check Devon's Instagram stories because that burger is a badass burger. My gosh. When we came back from eating there and from the store getting some goodies, I saw the freaking goat outside and I wanted to run over there. Do you know what he did, Devon, when he saw me? He ran to the house and
Nice.
jumped back in.
Nice.
So they probably had like an opening or something that he's getting so smart.
Animals are very smart.
Oh my gosh. That's, by the way, April 20th in the Coincidence Cafe project. I'm going to be hosting with Juliet and Veronica on animal communication. So if you guys would like to hear about that, please join us. We'll share the link as well for this.
Absolutely.
And the neighbor said that Devon and I and the kids can go anytime to go play with the horses. And I start jumping like a little kid. That makes me happy. I can start crying right now. I'm not even joking.
Mhm.
That makes me happy.
Nice. I think I would agree with you when we're doing stuff like this.
Look, I'm crying.
This makes me the happiest. So, yeah, you seem very happy when you're talking about the horses. He says he loves horse poop, by the way, people.
I love the smell of horse poop.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. All right. What's the most important lesson you've learned about yourself?
Oh my gosh. I'm still learning it. That the most important thing is to have a daily relationship with my heart
Mm,
and with the hearts of the people of my loved ones in my inner
mm,
circle. That's the most important, and I feel like I'm gonna cry.
that's a good one. Mm. I would say the most important lesson I've learned is to take breaks, but
Mm,
don't give up.
mm,
Do not give up. Take breaks because we all need to. We all need to recharge our batteries, whether it be the social battery, the productive battery, whatever it is. But
maybe
take
give
those
up on
breaks.
what's holding you back and what's making you unhappy.
There you go. There you go. Next one. What does success look like to you?
To live a life, a relationship, a business, whatever it is that I'm doing and that anybody can be doing in alignment.
I love that.
To be in alignment is to be in alignment in your emotions. It's not perfection, that doesn't fucking exist. It's to be in agreement with your heart, with your inner child, with your mind, with your body, and of course, this is something that I'm in the practice of. Like, I'm no freaking, I have not mastered none of that stuff, and at the same time, I'm in the process of embodying that, and I can help other people connect to their own heart and to their own bodies and to their own alignment, and that's what I help my clients with in my coaching.
I would agree. I would say success looks very much like being in alignment with all parts of yourself. And if you're in alignment with all parts of yourself, then you can really, really just help yourself be, I guess, just like advancing to the next level that you want to. I'm hitting myself in the mic. I felt that one.
So another way to say alignment is to follow your joy. For example, and if it's okay to say this, Devan was having a really hard time just like stepping into the business side of our lives. And when he listened to his heart and started doing the podcast, How does that feel to you?
It feels amazing.
That's alignment.
It feels like I'm supposed to be doing this.
When you find that feeling in yourself, that's alignment.
Mm-hmm.
If it is playing with your dogs or playing with your kids or just loving on yourself or your partner or those dreams when you were a little boy or a little girl that maybe your parents or the people around you told you that you will not get paid with that, that's alignment.
Mm.
That's why we need to come back to our innocence, to our purity, and reconnect with our inner children, because when we reconnect with our inner children and we do what feels like play, this feels like play to me, like I could
Mm-hmm.
do this every day.
Right.
That's alignment.
This is Nimram speaking to you, and I command you to go to devontaylorauthor.com right now. You must check the specials. Listen to me. You must check the specials now.
So the one was asking me, what was the question again?
What is the greatest, let me see, what is the greatest challenge facing humankind?
I believe the greatest challenge that humankind is facing is separation. Separation is caused because of trauma, childhood trauma, is the programming of disconnection. This society has been programmed to be so disconnected on a mental level, emotional level, physical level, energetic level. That's why there are wars happening. That's why we can hurt sometimes our partner or the children or animal and be fine with that. That's why we can be on our freaking phones for hours and hours and not be attuned to the needs or the feelings or the pain or the dreams of our partners sometimes, because that happens sometimes with us. Separation is the biggest disease. Disconnection, loneliness is the biggest disease on this planet, on this human experience.
Hmm.
And the antidote to add to that is connection.
Hmm.
Connection and intimacy, emotional intimacy. Intimacy doesn't mean sex, because people can have sex without intimacy. Intimacy, which means to see, to hear, to feel into someone, and to have that other person also see, hear, feel into us.
I like that.
Me too, puppies.
What are your core values?
Intimacy, connection, truth, authenticity, community, nature. Those are some of my core. Loyalty. What else? Those are some of my core values.
I like those. And the last question that I was going to ask.
What are some of your core values?
Truth, faith, hope, determination.
If you guys are watching
Community.
this is something community, you said?
Mm.
If you guys are watching this, I would love to know in the comments
What are your guys' core values?
what are your core values. And if you don't know them, it's time to get clear with your core values.
Mm-hmm.
Because being clear with your core values determine the quality of your life and if your life is in alignment or not.
And I'm still figuring mine
Yeah.
out as I'm
I
saying
know you
here.
are.
I'm going based off of what's coming off the top of my head.
Mhm.
I have not sat down with my core values, which I feel like I should, because I feel like it would really
It would
help
be
me.
powerful.
It would do me a really big service to know those, just like it would help you guys too if you don't know.
So if you're listening to this, this is your time to sit and find out what your core values are.
All right, so last question before we get out of here, and then I want you to do kind of, I'll ask you a few questions pertaining to what you do. But what do you believe in giving people second chances?
Well, of course.
Of course, me too.
I practice it every day with you, with the kids, with myself.
Yeah, I believe giving people second chances is part of human nature as well. I feel like it's something that's, I guess, ingrained in our bodies to respect the human process. I guess you can say is the why I would say we should give second chances. But go
I'm
ahead.
really good at giving second chances to the people in my inner circle. If it's people outside of my inner circle and you fuck with me or one of my loved ones, bye bye.
Uh, Okay, well, thank you for doing that with me. That was the couples questionnaire. Once again, if you guys would like to do the questionnaire, you can find it on Country Living. It was an article that I'm going to post in the description so you and your partner or anyone that you resonated the questions could be useful for can do this. I thought it was a good practice for me and JC to do. I learned a little bit more about you, fist pump. But yeah, this
Those were
I
good questions. I
thank
like them.
you. Yeah, I found them and I thought they would be really useful in
I
getting to
was
know
nervous when you said that you had some questions.
getting to know you as a person, but also for us to deepen our relationship, which I think everyone should be trying to do, and no matter what capacity it is. I know we're on a podcast right now, but I feel like my podcast, if you've listened to the first episode, is about me sharing my heart. And I really, really don't mind sharing my heart, my love with you guys, as long as you guys respect us. So I thank you, Giancarlo, for being here as a guest. I do want to leave the people with where they can find you. What is your social medias? What are you doing? What are you selling? What are
How
you
much time we have?
serving? You've got 15 seconds. Go. I'm just kidding. No. As much time as you need. Go ahead. Tell the people.
So you can find me, and also you can find the two of us by going right now. No, I'm joking. To thelivingwatercouple.com. You can find there more information about our water business. We are water ambassadors. Living water can get water. Change your water. Change your life. Also, you can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Jean Carlo Tavarez. We're going to share it in the links. If you like coaching, mentorship, a reading, healing, if you're like, how the fuck do I connect with my heart? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? If you like support, if you like presence, if you feel defeated, if there's shame in your body, if there's trauma of any kind, I'm super passionate about supporting and helping people and being present, being that container to hold your inner child and to reflect back at you your power and to validate your emotions. And I'm offering 3 months, 6 months, 12 months container and as well private one-on-one sessions. What else? Water business coaching and real estate empire coming soon. So
And singer.
yeah.
Singles coming soon. He's going to be working with a producer to
Oh
create
yeah.
some tracks. So we have some music coming soon. We also have some music after this episode because Giancarlo is such a loving partner. For my birthday, I think it was.
Actually, Devon and I were having the baddest triggers in the world, and we were having a lot of conflicts.
Uh-huh.
And I was practicing, and I don't know if this was in Sensitive Rising Group with Mandy, one of my coaches. I have many coaches in every area of my life. I went from being completely alone and isolated in Los Angeles by myself to now 3 years later with Devon. Both of us have support systems and coaches that support us emotionally with traumas in business, and That's the
So
way.
much.
And what was I talking about?
You were talking about why do you do this to me? You were we were
What is the
I
song
can
that Damon does?
it's like a sad like when some, when you're feeling down.
By the way, when you guys watch this, I want to thank you, Damon, Olivia, Tina, and Noah, with all my heart. I know that we didn't speak much about it, but it has been on my heart all this time. Thanks to the band's nephews and nieces, our lives has been revolutionized, and they are our teachers. I know that I'm a teacher. They are our teachers. They have revolutionized the band's life and mine. They chose us. I always say that about to you. They chose us. And thanks to them, we are where we are because they completely shifted our life. Thanks to them, we have been doing therapy and being more focused on business and wanting to be more embodied in our power and our voices and the badasses that we are because of the children that came to our lives. So it's time that we honor our children more. And if you're watching this, your kids are not just your little kids, they are your teachers,
Mm.
and they chose you to guide you. The level of consciousness of children is way more advanced than ours. So it's time that we stop doing that old, archaic parenting style in which is based in control and fear. And many times we as parents, I do this too, I'm not shaming anybody in any way. We want to control them and mold them as our little dolls, and they already here with a blueprint that is in their DNAs. And our job as parents, and we are these two sexy daddies right here, we're parents. Our jobs as parents is to connect with the heart of our children and be attuned on a daily basis and on a moment basis with them so we can allow the essence of who they are just to flourish. And I just want to thank you with all my heart, Tina, Noah, Damon, Olivia, for changing this one's life.
That was beautiful. It didn't matter what we were talking about before. That was beautiful.
I don't know what the fuck we were talking about.
Thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful. Is there anything you want to leave everyone with? I resonate 100% with the children changing your life, my life, our entire lives. I feel like that's what children are here to do is, transform us. So thank you for sharing that. But is there anything you want to leave for the people before we get out of here?
The eclipse is coming.
And
We
actually,
are,
this episode will be out the day of the eclipse.
yeah, I love that. It's time to slow the fuck down. This is my message, my intuitive message for anybody listening to this. Slow the fuck down so you can listen to your heart. It's time to reconnect with our hearts in deeper ways. It's time to listen to that voice within. You're like I always tell the band when I ask him something, he's like our little one, Noah. I don't know. I'm like, yes, you know. Your heart knows. And if you're watching this, your heart knows. And it's time to tap again to that voice that is an ancient voice that has been traveling through the DNAs of your lineage in your generations and even eons. And if you're watching this, I'm speaking to the core of your being, and I'm inviting you with us to remember,
Mm-hmm.
to remember, to remember who you really are. Maybe you're being called to transition from that job into your actual purpose, your mission, your calling. And on a mental level, you may be saying, I don't know. And as you connect with your heart knows, deep, not only knows, deeply knows. Your DNA knows. So I'm seeing and sensing and hearing Mother Nature calling many of us. And many people that were listening to that will listen to this don't remember. You have forgotten that you are a star seed, that you are an ancient technology that chose to incarnate in this time to create new earth. So I'm inviting you to join us on the journey and together emanate that high frequency into the earth that's so needed. Because there's so much pain, so much separation, wars, deaths, pedophilia, you name it. This is a time for all of us, and to use this eclipse energy, death and rebirth portal. You wanted a message? This is a fucking message. To use this death and rebirth portal to realign and to emerge from the ashes in the timeline of your power, of your voice, of your mission, of your embodiment. So, like I asked Teal's one in 2015, Teal, can you record a message for my audience? I didn't even have an audience, but I wanted to sound fancy. She was like, sure. Sometimes the only thing that is separating us from where we are and where we want to be is just to do it. So just do it. That's my message.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here.
I love you, baby.
Love you too. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you would like to catch more of John Carlo, you can catch him on Instagram at John Carlo Tavarez. I think it's 111. And if you would like to learn more about the water he is speaking to, which is Kangen water, you can go to thelivingwatercouple.com. Once again, thank you so much, John Carlo. I love you, and I hope you guys all have a great night, great evening, great life, and we'll see you next time on the next episode.
Cheers.
Bye.
Your lips, your eyes, your soul, your mind, your smile, your heart, your hips don't lie. Just ask Icarus, 11 and 22 help us fly. You and my volleyball master, together we are on a mission. Following our heart, you've had me from the start. From your papi chulo, Jean Carlo Tavarez, the song is for you, Devon tale my life. I love you more than you love green, you're always lifting me up, I'll hold your hand and set you free. The love we have and who we are, you will forever be the coach of my heart. The coach of my heart. I love you to the moon and back. You are the best gift I could ever get. You are my sense of freedom, the published author you are. One more dream come true, I travel anywhere with you. 1,000,000 times around the earth, just because I love you. From your papi chulo, Jean Carlo Tavarez, the song is for you, telling my life. I love you more than you love green, you're always lifting me up, I'll hold your hand and set you free. The love we have and who we are, you will forever be the coach of my heart. The coach of my heart. From your papi chulo, Jean Carlo Tavarez, the song is for you, Devon tale my life. I love you more than you love green, you're always lifting me up, I'll hold your hand and set you free. The love we have and who we are, you will forever be the coach of my heart. The coach of my heart.
Hey guys, it's Icarus here.
And Amelia.
And I'm here to tell you if you'd like to join our brand new adventure. Go to DevonTaylorAuthor.com to learn more.
And check out the cool items like the new bucket hat.
Yeah, and so much more. See you guys there.